Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing my MLB tier ranking. Basically, I've done these tier rankings for all different sports, NFL, NBA, college football. Basically, kind of go through and do a tier ranking from like top being like the World Series title contenders, kind of playoff contenders, average, and then the sucky teams. First off, I want to say this is my opinion on my tier list, so if you disagree with anything I say, that is your opinion. Leave it down in the comments. But you're going to see the whole tier list here in just a second, so you're going to kind of understand how it works. So without further ado, we're going to get straight on into this. If you're going to enjoy, as always, make sure you go ahead and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, before I go any further, I want to go and point out, I already made this video once. My recording corrupted, so we're going to do this again. So if I seem like I'm not explaining much about the teams, that's why. First up, let's get this over with. Let's go ahead and do a couple of my World Series contenders. Dodgers, very simple. Shohei Ohtani. All the guys they have there, they need to win a World Series. Philadelphia Phillies, do I need to say more? That team with the amount of money they're spending, kind of like with the Dodgers, they're always in the World Series. Last year they missed it just short with the NLCS. They lost to the Diamondbacks. The year before they were in the World Series and they didn't win it. And the Houston Astros, they're always going to be title contenders. Just there's something about that team. They're always going to be in the ALCS, which makes it obvious that they're going to have to be World Series title contenders if they're always going to make it at least to the ALCS. Next up, let's go with the Baltimore Orioles. They are a team that I think their ceiling this year is the ALCS. They need to get to the ALCS. Last year they choked hard in the ALDS. They need to find a way to get to the ALCS. They have the hitters, they got the pitchers, they got Rutschman, they got Henderson, they got pieces. They need to put it together this year. We got the San Diego Padres. I'm going to be honest, with the way Juan Soto left, all they got left is Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis. The rest of the roster, the pitching is okay, but when it comes to your hitters, who's your guys? Fernando Tatis, he's still like up and down when it comes to injuries. Manny Machado, he's not really that healthy all the time. What are you going to do? I can see this team definitely getting 80 wins, but at most that. Look at the San Francisco Giants. They're kind of along the same lines as the Padres. They're going to be average. They're always like right there. They always just miss the playoffs. Their main problem is I think they need better pitching. Like they got some good hitters. They got power. They got contact. They got the guys. They can steal some bases. Their problem is their pitching staff is like 50-50. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're bad. If they can fix that, they'd be golden. Look at the Atlanta Braves. They're easily going to be NLCS possible. This team is always up there with 100 wins. They're always getting 100 wins. Their problem is they don't do anything after that. They get in the playoffs, they're like the top team. Everybody's like, oh shit, we gotta play the Braves. But then it's like nowadays, it's like, are you really afraid of them? It's almost like in the regular season, they got bats that can just nuke the shit out of every single ball they hit. And then the playoffs, it's like every single time they hit the ball, it barely goes past the pitcher. And when it comes to the regular season, the pitchers, the break on that, their curveballs, their sliders, everything they throw, their changeups, it's like you can't even touch it. But when it comes to the playoffs, you can hit everything out of the park. You might say I sound stupid right now, but I'm gonna be honest, when I watch the games, that's exactly what it looks like. The Braves have no excuses here. They need to, it's NLCS or bust, and then it's World Series title contender or it's a complete failure. We got the New York Yankees. I'm gonna be honest, they I think are ALCS possible. They can get to the ALCS. That's where their ceiling is. They ain't going any farther than that. Like they got Stan, they got Judge, they got now Juan Soto just signed with them. They got pieces. They're not going any farther than that. I don't see them shocking the world. I don't see them going to the World Series. I just do not see it. I think the ALCS that's their ceiling. They always somehow find a way to get in their way. They are almost like the Cowboys of the MLB. They just find a way to get in their way. Whether it's them doing something stupid when they're up a 3-2 lead over a really good team, it's like they have a shot, they can do it now, and they do something stupid in like the game 6 and it allows the other team to come back in game 7 and win it. Or whenever they're beating a really bad, or they get a really bad team and they choke and they go out there and get swept by that really bad team. The Yankees always find a way to do something stupid. I'll digress and I'll move on. We got the Red Sox. I'm gonna be honest, they're gonna be an average team. It's just sad to see the Red Sox the way they are right now. They have good pieces on the team. It's just they don't mesh well. If the pieces would mesh well and I don't know what they need to do, but they need to do something fast. Hopefully spring training, they kind of figure it out and they get something good, a good product on the field. But I think they're gonna be an average squad. Look at the Arizona Diamondbacks. I know they were just in the World Series last year, but I'm gonna be honest, I think they're all gonna be playoff possible. The playoffs is kind of where their ceiling is. That's where they're gonna be. I don't see them going any farther than that. Look at the Minnesota Twins. I really think they're gonna be an average squad. Could they make the playoffs and shock the world? I really do think they could, but I don't see it happening. We got the Angels now. Shohei Ohtani's gone, and Mike Trout, the way his injuries are, they're going to be a sucky team. It's like they have nobody else besides Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. That was their whole roster last year. Everybody else, it's like you looked at the numbers, Shohei Ohtani here, Mike Trout about here, and then everybody else is like way down there. Look at the Toronto Blue Jays. I think they can get to the playoffs. They're a playoff possible team. I think they can. I bet on them getting the playoffs. Tampa Bay Rays, same thing. I think they can get the playoffs. They have a good roster. They got good hitters. They got good pitchers. They can definitely make the playoffs. Let's kind of pick and choose some teams in here. First off, let's make this obvious. Oakland A's, trash. Trash. That team is not trying at all. The owner does not care to win any games. They're probably going to win maximum 45 games. The team is just like at some point it's like, owner, sell the team. I realize he's trying to move to Vegas, or they're trying to move to Vegas, but it's like at some point just sell the fucking team. Give it up. You're not leading this team to any promise. We'll get the defending World Series champions, the Texas Rangers. I'm gonna be honest. I think they're probably at most ALCS possible, but they might have a bounce back or down year. They're going to have a World Series hangover. They're going to fall back. They're going to get to the playoffs, but I don't think they're going any further than that. Like, congratulations, good job on them winning it, but I think they're going to hang on to that too much, and now they have a target on the back. Last season, nobody really expected them to go that far. Now teams are going to really start to fear them. They know what they're capable of, and they ain't going to let them just cruise right by everybody. We got the Seattle Mariners. I'm going to be honest, they could shock some people, but I think they're going to be a sucky team. If they got to average, wouldn't surprise me, but I think they're going to be a sucky team. The Rockies, once again, I'm going to say it now. I'm not putting anybody else in trash. That's almost like the Oakland A's own tier. They're going to be a sucky team. 60, 70 wins at most for the Rockies, but even then, you ain't getting down here with the trash cans. We got Cincinnati Reds. I think they actually could be a playoff possible team. I bet the Reds will make the playoffs this year. If the Reds don't make the playoffs this year, I would be stunned. Like, with the way they were playing last year, especially down the stretch, they were right there about to make the playoffs. They just fell up short. They were a few games back. Like, I was surprised they didn't make it. Let's pick and choose some teams here. We got the Royals. Once again, they're going to be a sucky squad. I don't really need to say anything else there. Same thing with the Washington Nationals. They're going to be a sucky squad. Both these teams, not good pitchers. The hitters are like below average. They need to find they need to find good pieces. Hopefully spring training they can develop some guys. A lot of these squads like down here in the sucky, they really need to go into the minor leagues and they need to find some diamonds in the rough and they need to bring them up because that's the only way they're ever going to get better. We got the Chicago Cubs. They I think are going to be a playoff possible team. They just signed a bunch of different guys in free agency. They got some good pieces. The pitching is really good. I still think the hitting is now going to get better. They were like, 6 games back of making the playoffs last year. They at one point during like late August, they were right there in the playoff hunt. They were in the final playoff position, and then they kind of slipped out and fell down after a couple of games. They had a rough end of September, but I do think this year they're going to bounce back and they can get to the playoffs. We got the Chicago White Sox, and I think they will be like an average squad. They're going to be an average. They're going to win maybe like 75 to 80 games. That's kind of their ceiling, but they'll do good this year. St. Louis Cardinals, I'm going to be honest, they are going to be sucky. They ain't going any further than that. Pittsburgh Pirates, they could shock the world. They could make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be an average squad. They're going to do some good things this year. Like I said, them making the playoffs would not shock me, but they're probably going to be average. We'll get the Detroit Tigers. They're probably going to be average. They have a good team. They got some good hitters. They got some good pitchers. Miguel Cabrera, he just retired, so they're going to have to kind of get back to finding who's going to be their new superstar for the team. Who's it going to be? That's kind of the question. Anybody Detroit Tiger fans, let me know in the comments who's going to be your superstar now. But they're going to be an average. We got the team that paid everybody, the New York Mets, and has nothing to show for it with Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander. You guys paid everybody, and you have no fucking playoff NLCS or World Series titles to show for it. Do I dare put you in playoff possible and bet that you're going to get there? It sounds stupid, but I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to roll the dice and I'll say you get to the playoffs. We'll get the Cleveland Guardians, my team. I think they can definitely get to the playoffs. They can get to the playoffs. I would probably say it'd be more comfortable putting them at average, but I think they can make playoffs. The hitters are really getting going this year. They added some power in the offseason. Hopefully the pitching can get good. Tanner Bybee, Logan Allen, Tristan McKenzie, can he stay healthy? Shane Bieber, people talk about, is he going to get traded? I don't really know where that's going to go right now, if Bieber's going to get traded or not, but I really think this team can make the playoffs. We get the Miami Marlins. This team is doing some really good things. The question is, are they going to be average? Or are they going to make the playoffs? I think they're going to be average. I don't know if they can make it that far. And that leaves last team, the Milwaukee Brewers. They're going to be my final playoff possible team. But now that I kind of sit back and look at this, I'm kind of wondering, do I want to make a few kind of minute changes? And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to contradict some of my words that I already said. I'm going to put the Texas Rangers up into the ALCS contenders. I'm going to bring the Yankees back down. I think they're going to make the playoffs still, but I don't think they can make the ALCS. And I'm going to put the defending NLCS champions back up in there. Yeah, I think I'm comfortable with that list. I kind of wrap it up. Like I said, Dodgers, Phillies, Astros, easily World Series contenders. Rangers, you could put up there. Like I said, you could put them up there because they're defending champion, but I'm going to kind of keep them down here in ALCS. I don't think they're going to get back to the World Series. And then whenever it comes to like I said, NLCS and ALCS possible, Orioles, they have to get there with the roster they got. Diamondbacks, maybe they'll get back since they were just there in the NLCS and in the World Series. Braves, with the records they're always getting, they need to get to the NLCS. That's like, it's either NLCS or your season was a complete failure. And then whenever it comes to getting the World Series, it's that or bust. And then everything else is kind of your opinion on if you agree with me or not. But like I said, A's, they deserve their own tier down there. And then up here, I think we can all agree those are like the main World Series title contenders. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. That's been my full MLB tier ranking for the 2024 MLB season. Like I said, this is going to hopefully go up around whenever MLB spring training is kind of coming to an end. Opening day will be coming up here in a few days. So hopefully you guys are excited. This is my ranking. So like I said, if you disagree with anything I said, that's your opinion. This is my opinion. But I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did go on to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. Like I said, this is my opinion, so if you disagree with anything I said, if you think a certain team should have been up there in the World Series title contender, if you think somebody should have been there in the ALCS, NLCS possible, playoff contender, average, sucky, Whichever you disagree with or agree with, let me down in the comment section down below. Be more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell. Be notified the second I post. As MLB season kind of kicks off, hopefully I can get some MLB content here on the channel whenever it comes to like MLB news, big games, big drama going on with the MLB season. So if you guys are excited for that type of stuff and you want to see it here on the channel, like I said, leave in the comments and subscribe. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.